Have you ever wondered which countries have the strongest militaries in the world? Today, we're going to embark on a fascinating journey, exploring the mightiest military forces across the globe. We'll rank the top 20 based on a myriad of factors, from the number of active personnel and the vastness of their tank fleets, to the strength of their air force and their naval prowess, including submarines. It's a comprehensive analysis that will leave no stone unturned. So, without further ado, let's dive into the countdown, starting at number 20. Kicking off our list at number 20 is Canada. While the Canadian military may not be the largest, it is a professional, well-trained force. However, it ranks low due to a small number of active personnel, lack of aircraft carriers and attack helicopters, and a modest number of tanks and submarines. Next up, we have Indonesia at the 19th spot. This Southeast Asian nation has a high number of active personnel and a fairly substantial number of tanks. However, it grapples with a lack of carriers, aircraft, and submarines, which keeps it from climbing higher up the ranks. Coming in at number 18 is Germany. Despite its historical reputation for military might, Germany ranks relatively low on this list. This is largely due to a lack of power projection platforms like aircraft carriers and submarines. However, it does have a fair number of attack helicopters, showcasing its focus on land-based defense. Just ahead of Germany, at 17th place, is Poland. Edging out Germany, Poland boasts a larger number of tanks and more submarines. It has also been increasing military spending in response to Russia's actions in Ukraine, demonstrating its commitment to national defense. Finally, closing out this segment at number 16 is Thailand. Interestingly, Thailand's military is in control of the country following a coup. It receives strong scores for the number of active personnel, tanks, and even boasts possession of an aircraft carrier. However, it lacks a substantial aircraft fleet, keeping it from breaking into the top 15. Each of these nations showcases unique strengths and weaknesses, reflective of their geopolitical realities, strategic priorities, and financial resources. From Canada's professional force to Thailand's military-run government, each military is a fascinating study in strategy and power projection. Moving on, let's see which countries made it to the top 15. At number 15, we have Australia. The military might of Australia may be small in size, but it's certainly not to be underestimated. While they score low in terms of active personnel, tanks, and aircraft, they make up for it with their impressive fleet of attack helicopters and submarines, proving that quality can sometimes outweigh quantity. Moving on to number 14, we find Israel. Israel's military size is small when looked at in absolute terms, but don't let that fool you. With mandatory military service for its citizens and the qualitative advantages of advanced fighter jets and even nuclear weapons, Israel's military strength is formidable. Next up, at number 13, we have Taiwan. Faced with constant threats from its larger neighbor China, Taiwan's military focuses primarily on defensive strategies. Their strength lies in their large fleet of attack helicopters, aircraft, and tanks, making them a hard nut to crack. Sitting at the 12th spot is Egypt, boasting one of the oldest and largest armed forces in the Middle East. Not only do they have a substantial tank and aircraft force, but they also receive considerable financial aid from the United States, further bolstering their military prowess. And finally, at number 11, we have Germany. Despite ranking low due to the lack of power projection platforms like aircraft carriers and submarines, Germany's military strength is backed by a fair number of attack helicopters. Their lack of certain resources is a shortcoming, but they remain a force to be reckoned with. Now, we're about to break into the top 10. Are you ready? Cracking the top 10, at number 10, we have Egypt. With one of the oldest and largest armed forces in the Middle East, Egypt's military strength is a force to be reckoned with. Substantial financial aid from the US bolsters Egypt's military prowess, which boasts an impressive tank and aircraft force. Sitting at number 9 is Taiwan. This island nation, under constant threat from China, has strategically focused its military resources on defense. Despite its size, Taiwan has a large number of attack helicopters, aircraft, and tanks, proving that size isn't everything when it comes to military strength. Coming in at number 8, we find Israel. Israel may have a small military in absolute terms, but don't let that fool you. With mandatory military service and qualitative advantages, such as advanced fighter jets and nuclear weapons, Israel's military presence is truly impressive. At number 7, we have Australia. While Australia's military is small and scores low for the number of active personnel, tanks, and aircraft, it is significantly boosted by its attack helicopters and submarines. Australia's strength lies in its modernized and technologically advanced military equipment. And finally, at number 6, we have Thailand. Despite its turbulent political landscape, Thailand's military holds strong. The military, currently in control of the country, receives high scores for the number of active personnel and tanks. It also has the possession of an aircraft carrier, although it lacks a robust aircraft fleet. Each of these nations has unique strengths and weaknesses that earn them their place in the top 10. Their military power is shaped by various factors, ranging from the number of active personnel and quality of weaponry to their geopolitical context and strategic priorities. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, the top 5 strongest militaries in the world. Scene script. Starting the top 5, at number 5 we have India, boasting one of the largest active military personnel in the world. While their number of tanks, aircraft, and submarines are impressive, an area of improvement is the modernization of their equipment and technology. Butting in at number 4 is Russia, with its military might rooted in its vast array of tanks and nuclear weapons. However, the active personnel count doesn't quite match up to its hardware, a balance they might need to strike. Claiming the 3rd spot is China. With a colossal number of active personnel, tanks, and aircraft, they are a force to be reckoned with. However, their lack of power projection platforms like aircraft carriers and submarines slightly pulls them back. Runner-up at number 2 is the United States. With advanced tech, a large number of aircraft carriers, and a well-rounded military force, it's a close call. Despite this, the challenge lies in maintaining their vast global presence. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At number 1, we have the undisputed champion, Russia. The combination of a high number of active personnel, advanced technology, and a significant number of tanks, aircraft, and submarines makes them the strongest military power as of now. However, it's important to remember that military strength isn't just about the numbers. It's also about strategy, geographical location, alliances, and a country's economic strength. Each of these countries has their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and they continue to evolve and adapt to the changing global landscape. And there you have it, the top 20 strongest militaries in the world. From the vast landscapes of Canada to the bustling cities of our number 1 country, we've traveled the globe in this countdown. Our exploration has taken us into the heart of what makes a military might, revealing that power isn't just about the size of an army, but the strategic depth, technological prowess, and the resilience of its personnel. Let's take a moment to revisit the key points we've unpacked. We saw how Canada's strength isn't encapsulated by just the size of its active personnel, but also by its lack of certain military assets. Then we journeyed to Indonesia, where we found a high number of active personnel and a respectable fleet of tanks, but a noticeable absence of carriers and aircraft. Germany and Poland taught us that power projection platforms, such as aircraft carriers and submarines, can significantly impact a country's military ranking. Thailand, despite its political turmoil, showcased a strong military foundation, while Australia, with its smaller forces, highlighted the importance of specialized assets like attack helicopters and submarines. We've seen how Israel's mandatory military service and advanced technology give it an edge, and how Taiwan's focus on defense strategies molds its military strength. Egypt, one of the oldest and largest armed forces in the Middle East, demonstrated the significance of financial aid and a robust tank and aircraft force. Remember, strength isn't just about numbers, but also about strategy, technology, and resilience. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.